So let us look on for the tertiary amines. Even in case of tertiary amines also, we have two types. One is simple amine, another one is mixed amine. So we'll take examples directly and we'll look on how to do the common nomenclature and IUPAC nomenclature. So in case of trimethylamine, so here you have 3CH3 group bonded to a nitrogen. So if you don't have a hydrogen, then also they are called as tertiary amines. So it is same like your secondary amines. Even here also, since I have 3CH3 group bonded to a central nitrogen, so therefore I should write 3 times nitrogen followed by a prefix tri, because there are 3 in number, methylamine. So this is the common nomenclature. Whereas for IUPAC nomenclature, what we will do is, we'll take 2CH3 group as a substituent and the another CH3 group with a nitrogen or as a amine group as a parent chain. So therefore here will be a naming as N, N dimethyl methenamine, because we have one CH3 bonded to nitrogen which is behaving as a parent chain. So therefore it will be called as N, N dimethyl methenamine. So if I move on to a mixed amine, so in case of mixed amine, I have 2 C2H5 group, that is ethyl group, and 1 propyl group. So therefore what I can do is, so as you all know that we have to take a lesser number of carbon containing R as a substituent. The larger number of carbon containing alkyl group with a amine will behave as a parent chain. So therefore here I have 2C2H5. So therefore I'll be giving the common name as N diethyl followed by N propylamine. So whereas IUPAC nomenclature will be same thing. Here we are using propyl, but here we have to write it as propanamine. That's all is the difference. Okay, so this is regarding the common name and IUPAC nomenclature for tertiary amine. So for example, if I take a allyl group, what do you mean by allyl group is, so if I have a unsaturated system, that means if I have 2 carbon atom with a sp2 hybridized, and this carbon in turn, if it is bonded to a sp3 hybridized carbon atom, then followed by a functional group. So this entire chain which has 2 carbon with sp2 bonded to a sp3 hybridized carbon followed by a functional group are called as allyl group. Got my point? So therefore I have a allylic group bonded to a NH2. Of course it is a primary amine. Why primary amine? Because here I am having 2 hydrogen. If 2 hydrogen, primary amine. 1 hydrogen, secondary amine. No hydrogen, tertiary amine. So since I have 2 hydrogen here, it is a primary amine, but it has a allylic group. So here the common nomenclature will be written as allyl amine. So this is the allyl group, so therefore allyl followed by amine. Whereas for IUPAC nomenclature, what do we do is, so we are going to give a numbering here. So what will be the numbering is, so we'll start with the carbon atom bonded to a functional group followed by 2, then followed by 3. So I have a double bond for the second carbon atom, so therefore it is named as 2. Total 3 carbon prop. Double bond is present at second carbon, so therefore ene, last terminal E is removed and followed by amine. Same like your IUPAC nomenclature of your primary amine. So this is regarding the IUPAC nomenclature for the allylic group bonded to a amine functional group. So then followed by that, let us move on for the last IUPAC nomenclature, that is aromatic compounds. So in case of aromatic compounds, if a NH2 group is bonded to a benzene, then it is called as arylamine. To be more specific, it is also an example for primary aromatic amine. Why primary aromatic amine? Because here the nitrogen has 2 hydrogen. So therefore it is a primary aromatic amine, where we have one substituent bromine bonded to a para position, okay, para position with respect to a functional group. So therefore here, how to do the nomenclature? So in case of aromatic compounds, as you all know that, so the common nomenclature is not so much used. We are going to use what is that, IUPAC nomenclatures are not frequently used, but we are using the common nomenclatures. So here, you know that if a benzene with a NH2 group is bonded, we commonly call it as aniline. So therefore, using this aniline, we are going to speak about the substituent position. So if it is a common nomenclature, I have to write it as para-bromoaniline. Why para? Because here 1, 2 is called as ortho position, 1, 3 is called as meta position, 1, 4 is called as para position. So therefore it is para-bromoaniline. Whereas in case of IUPAC nomenclature, we don't use a word para, ortho, meta and all. We will be using the position numbering. So therefore here, if I start numbering from the functional group NH2, so therefore here bromine is bonded at 4th carbon. So therefore it is called as 4-bromoaniline. So this is regarding the IUPAC nomenclature of amines. Okay, so now we'll start with the preparation of amines. So to begin with, we have first one that is called as ammonolysis of alkyl halide. So here alkyl halide is taken as a substrate, because you know that in organic reactions one of the reactant will be called as substrate and the another reactant will be called as attacking reagent. So therefore here alkyl halide is taken as a substrate. What do you mean by substrate? Something which has a source of carbon. Okay, so if it is having a source of carbon, it will behave as a substrate. So therefore here we are taking a alkyl halide. So alkyl halide are playing very vital role to be taken as a substrate. Why is that? Is because they have a very good leaving group. So what is that? Is halogen. All halogens are called as good leaving group. What do you mean by leaving group? Is a group which will leave the substrate molecule. So therefore we are taking alkyl halide as a substrate here. And I hope you know that in case of alkyl halide, the halogen being electronegative will have a partial negative charge, and whereas the R group, that is the chain of carbon, will have a partial positive charge. So here we are doing ammonolysis. That means the another reactant has to be a ammonia. So I hope you know that in case of ammonia, it has one lone pair of electron. So due to the presence of one lone pair of electron, it will behave as a nucleophile. And I hope you know that nucleophile are electron rich species which will attack only to a deficient center. So therefore it will attack to a R group because it carries a partial positive charge. So now what will happen? So look over here. So if it is a Rx where NH3 is attacking, okay, so you know that here one lone pair of electron will form a bond between R and as well as the nitrogen. We immediately this halogen will leave as halide ion. So look over here, R, N, H3, there are 3 hydrogen atoms. But this nitrogen atom will have a positive charge. Why it will have a positive charges? Because both the electrons are of nitrogen. Now it has involved in the bond formation. Refer, one bond will be with nitrogen, another bond is with the R group now. So therefore nitrogen will have a partial positive charge, and since it has a positive charge, so therefore it will have a affinity, electrostatic attraction with a halide ion which has left the substrate group. Immediately what will happen is, so one of the pair of electron will stabilize this positive charge. This hydrogen will come out as the proton H plus. So that H plus and X minus will combine and it will leave as HX, leaving behind RNH2. So this is the mechanism for the formation of primary amine. Or to be more simple, I can tell that remove one halogen from the substrate and one hydrogen from ammonia. So the left out part joined together, you will end up with a primary amine. So this reaction does not stop here. It will proceed further because we have taken excess of ammonia and as well as excess of alkyl halide. So therefore, another one alkyl halide will attack to this primary amine in a same way as the mechanism I have shown here. Or in a simple word, I can tell that remove one halogen and one hydrogen. So combine the rest part. So what will be the rest part here? RNHR. So I hope you know that if you have one hydrogen, it will be called as secondary amine. So further the reaction will continue. Again another one alkyl halide will add to a secondary amine until all the hydrogens are being substituted with a nitrogen. So therefore I'll end up with a tertiary amine. So here the reaction will stop because further there are no hydrogen atom to be replaced with the R group. Okay, so this is regarding a monolysis of alkyl halide. So the drawback of this method is we will end up with a mixture of amines, primary amine, secondary amine, tertiary amine. But however, it is said that the primary amine will be a major product. Okay, so then apart from that, we should know regarding the reactivity of the alkyl halide, what we have to take here. So in case of alkyl halide, it is said that Ri will have a faster reaction when compared to RBr, then RCl, then RF. Why is it so? Because here the bond dissociation enthalpy for Ri is very less. Why it is very less? Because of the bulky group. Iodine is having a very bulky size which is creating a hindrance on the bond. So therefore the bond enthalpy will be very less. Lower the bond enthalpy, very quickly it will come out from a substrate molecule. So anything which is leaving very quickly, it will faster the reaction. So therefore Ri followed by RBr, then RCl, and least in case of the RF. So this is the first method for the preparation of the amines, where we are getting all the three mixtures, that is primary amine, secondary amine and tertiary amine. Okay, so now so the next method is reduction of nitriles. So what do you mean by nitriles is RC triple bond N. So the cyanide group is called as nitrile group. So we are doing a reduction here. So what do you mean by reduction is, you can define in two ways. One is addition of hydrogen. If I add a hydrogen, then it is called as reduction. Or removal of oxygen. If I am removing the oxygen from a substrate molecule, that is also called as reduction. So here the substrate is nitrile. Okay, so that is RC triple bond N. So now you can see here that what are amines? Anything which has nitrogen. Already nitrogen is available, and for this carbon is also there. So what I have to do? I have to add 2 hydrogen here and 2 hydrogen here, so that I will end up with a primary amine. So how to do this? So here, to add, that means addition reaction. What do you mean by addition reaction? The multiple bond, that is the double bond and the triple bond, will be cleaved and it will be converted into a single bond due to the addition of atoms across those multiple bonded atoms. So therefore here I should add a hydrogen. To add a hydrogen, I have to take a reducing agent. And the best reducing agent, you are already aware of it, is platinum palladium, nickel with hydrogen. So this is one of the reagent which is used for hydrogenation reaction. This is also called as catalytic hydrogenation. Why? Because addition of hydrogen in presence of a catalyst is happening. So therefore it is called as catalytic hydrogenation. Or I can also take another one combination, that is sodium amalgam. So here what is sodium amalgam is, whenever we take mercury with any metal, they are called as amalgam. It is an alloy of mercury. So therefore here sodium amalgam in ethyl alcohol. So these are the two reagents which will lead to a complete hydrogenation. So what do you mean by complete hydrogenation is, so how many multiple bonds are there? 2 multiple bonds are there. So therefore I should add 2 hydrogen here and 2 hydrogen here. So the multiple bond will be converted into a single bond. So therefore I'll end up with RCH2 single bond NH2. Since the nitrogen has 2 hydrogen atom, it is called as primary amine. So this is how one method for preparing a primary amine by reducing the nitrile. So you should know another one alternate approach also. You should know all possibilities how it can be reduced. So we have one well-known name reaction called as Stephen's reduction. Okay, so this you will be studying in aldehyde ketones and carboxylic acids, where to prepare a aldehyde we are taking a nitrile and we are doing a Stephen's reduction. And what is this Stephen's reagent we are going to use here is, it is nothing but tin chloride in HCl. So you have to take tin chloride in HCl. So what will happen if I do a Stephen's reduction? I cannot have a complete hydrogenation. I can have only a partial hydrogenation. So what do you mean by partial hydrogenation? If I am having 2 pi bond, I can tell that the reduction can happen only for 1 pi bond. So therefore, what will be the product here? RC double bond N. So I should add 1 hydrogen for this carbon and 1 hydrogen for nitrogen. And this compound is called as imine. It is called as imine, not amine. Okay, fine. So here be careful here. So further, if I do a Stephen's reduction for this imine with the same reagent SnCl2 with HCl, that is nothing but Stephen's reduction, I will end up with a primary amine. But I have to carry out 2-step reaction here. Why? Because Stephen's reduction is used only for partial hydrogenation, whereas the same imine on hydrolysis refer, we are adding a water. So how do I add a water is, oxygen atom will be added to carbon and the 2 hydrogen will be added to this nitrogen, so that I'll end up with aldehyde with a ammonia formation. So this is what we do in Stephen's reduction to end up with the aldehyde as one of the product in aldehyde ketones and carboxylic acid. But in this chapter you should know that Stephen's reduction can also be done for nitriles to end up with a primary amine. But do remember, so if you take a catalytic hydrogenation, sodium amalgam in ethanol, you can do complete hydrogenation in a single step. I can end up with a primary amine formation. Whereas in case of Stephen's reduction, this reagent can be used only for partial hydrogenation. If I have 2 bonds at a time, only 1 bond will be broken and it will be converted into a lower form. So if I have triple bond, so it will be converted to double bond. Again, if I do a Stephen's reduction, the double bonded compound will be converted into a single bond. That means I have to do 2-step reaction to end up with a primary amine. So this is regarding reduction of nitrile.